Hey there, my name is Brittany Bryden. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. This class is for golfers, so it's a great one to do first thing in the morning or right before you go play to get you warmed up and ready to play some golf. You will need a strap today, but if you don't have a strap, you can use a long towel instead. That will work as well. Or if you have one of those resistance bands, you can use that. So we're gonna do some stuff for the shoulders, the spine, as well as the hips, so that you have a great game. So let's do this. We're gonna start right away with the strap. So my strap is pretty long, so I'm just gonna fold it in half. Take your feet a little bit wider than hip distance, and then just take your hands as wide on that strap or the towel, whatever you got, that you can go. So I just want you to take the strap up towards the ceiling, and then to start to pull the hands away from one another, and I want you to notice right away if you're pushing the chin forwards. So if you can bring your chin back a little bit so that everything's stacked right over top of the pelvis. So head, rib cage, stacked over top of the pelvis. Now as you keep pulling the hands apart, I just want you to take your arms just halfway back, halfway. Ooh, I already feel it already. So keep pulling the hands away. I played golf just the other day and I'm sore. Now bring the arms all the way down so the strap will tap your glutes, and then bring the strap halfway up, take a breath there. And then bring the strap all the way up towards the ceiling. So we're just gonna continue with that movement. Take the strap back, halfway down, pull the hands apart, take a breath. And then the strap comes all the way down, and just keep going on your own. So you can go even slower, or you can go a little bit quicker. But again, just notice if you're pushing the ribs forwards or if the head's coming forwards. Can you really just isolate that movement from the shoulders? And after you do a few rounds like that, I want you to start to explore a little bit more. So you can move laterally, you can add some twist to it. You can find different points in the chest. It all feels good today. So at some point, you might start to feel a tingling sensation through the chest and the shoulders, maybe even a little heat building up. It's great, we're getting some blood flow happening. Okay, one more round. And then next time you bring the strap up and over, set it off to the side and just give your arms a good shake. So now I want you to turn to face the front of the mat. Feet are about hip distance apart. Reach both arms up towards the ceiling. Take your right hand, reach for your left wrist. So your left arm is gonna go up, anchor through both feet. You're gonna lean over to the right and then take your hips over to the left, so breathe through the side. And then come back to center. Left hand to your right wrist. Reach your right arm up. Lean over to the left. Take your hips to the right. And then come back to center. You're going to reach both arms up towards the ceiling. Bend the knees a lot. Hinge from the hips and fold forwards over top of the legs. So bend the knees. Hands come to the floor. Let your head hang. We'll take a few breaths here. Just really relax through the neck. So try not to clench or tighten there. And then I want you to put a deep bend into your left leg. You're gonna come onto your left fingertips. You can either place that hand on the shin, maybe on top of your thigh if the floor is pretty far away. Open up the chest towards the right and just reach that right arm up towards the ceiling. So reach that arm up and then let that right arm fall back a little bit. And then set your right hand down to the ground. Bend into the right leg now and then reach your left arm up. So as that arm comes up, then start to let that left arm fall back a bit. Left hand comes down to the ground. Bend both knees, take a big step back with your right leg. Set your right knee down to the floor. So you can fold your mat over to get your knee some padding. You can slide a towel underneath that, set the knee down. Untuck the toes, so press the top of that right foot into the floor. And then as you lift the chest, just take both hands on top of the left thigh. So as you press that left foot down, you're just gonna shift the hips forwards a bit and then bring yourself back. And then come forwards and then pull back. So you're just gonna do a few more. One more. And then next time you come back, I want you to stay there. So left knee tracking right over top of the heel. And to isolate a little bit more through the right psoas, I want you to curl under with your pelvis a little bit. So from there, your left arm is just gonna come to the inside of your left leg. Press the arm in the leg, leg's gonna press back. Reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. and then lean to the left. So as you lean to the left, I want you to pull your right shoulder back a bit, lift the chest up towards the ceiling, and then just keep leaning. Ooh, there it is. Take a few more breaths here. And then bring yourself back to center. Now I want you to interlace the hands behind the back of the head. So the legs are still the same, elbows are wide. Take an inhale to lift the crown of the head up. And then your exhale, you're gonna twist to the left. So try to bring that right elbow forwards and the left elbow back. And then as you inhale, you're gonna come back to where you started. And then exhale, twist to the left. Same direction. Inhale, come back to center. And then exhale, twist. So just moving a few more times on your own. And then the next time you come to the twist, you're gonna stay there. Now take your left hand to your low back, your fingers are gonna face down, draw your ribs in and reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. And then just start to lean back. So don't push your hips forwards. Instead, feel like you're sending the tailbone down. And then your right hand's gonna come down to the inside of your left foot. Your left arm is gonna reach up towards the ceiling. Now set your left hand down to the ground. And then walk your left foot over to the right hand and come all the way down onto the outer left leg, okay? So now I want you to bend your back knee, but bring it forwards a little bit so your knee is more in line with the hip. And you can bring your heel tighter to the glute or you can take it back a little bit more, just depending on how it feels for you. And then create a 90-degree angle with your front leg. So left knee in line with the hip, heel in line with the knee, and just flex the foot for this, okay? So I want you to come onto your fingertips. So lift up tall. And if you need a little bit more weight on the hands, then you can definitely put more weight in the hands. To like make it a little bit more challenging, you use little weight or no weight at all. Okay, so it's up to you how it feels on the hips. Okay, ready? So now all I want you to do is spin that left heel up towards the ceiling. So start to lift the heel up and then see if you can lift the whole leg up. So the foot and the leg keep sending that left heel up towards the ceiling and then lower your left leg down. Now do the same thing with the back leg. So start to lift that right heel up towards the ceiling. And then keeping the heel up, can you lift the entire leg up? It might be a little bit, it might be a lot. And then lower down. So come back to the front leg, lift the front leg up, use as much weight in the hands or as little weight in the hands, and then lower down. Send that back heel up towards the ceiling and then lift the leg up and then lower down. Uchi mama. One more round. Lift the left leg up, see if you can hold for an extra breath. And then lower, and then lift the right leg up, and then lower down. All right, so now that we're done with that, we're gonna do one more thing here for the hips. So I want you to actively press your left knee and shin and outside of the foot into the ground. So you should already feel some activation there. Keep that. I want you to hinge from the hip. You're gonna fold forwards until you about hover above that front shin, and then lift yourself back up. Oh, yeah. Hinge from the hip, fold forwards, pause there, and then bring yourself up. Okay, and then one more time. Hinge forwards, keep pressing that left knee into the floor, and then bring yourself up. Now see if you can keep that work, take the hands to the floor, and then fold forwards into the front leg. So you can come on your forearms here, maybe you have a couple yoga blocks you can use for your head or your forearms. We're not here long. And then come onto your hands. Now I want your legs to stay in the same shape that they're in. You're just gonna open up your hips more to the right. Your hands are gonna come behind you. And then just start to walk your hands away from your glutes. Notice that that right knee is starting to lift up. Try to keep that right knee towards the ground. You can stand the hands, maybe you drop to one forearm or both forearms, and you might come all the way down onto your backs. This is one of my favorites to get into the top of the quad, into the hip. You have 3 more breaths here. And then to come out of it, it's a little bit easier if you lean more to the left. Use your hands, bring yourself up. And then bring that left heel in towards you so that you can come on your hands and just make your way onto your hands and knees and table. Starting to move through cat-cow. So as you take an inhale, lift the chest forward, send the tailbone up. And then as you exhale, push away from the floor and round to the spine. And again, inhale, chest comes forwards, tailbone up. Exhale, round. One more time. Inhale, chest forwards. Exhale, around. And come into a neutral spine. And then step your right foot forwards, followed by your left foot. So feet are hip distance apart and knees bent. Find that ragdoll shape, so let the head drop. You can take your hands and reach for either elbow. I like to pull my forearms down and create a little bit more traction through the spine. And then set the hands down to the floor. Lift up halfway to lengthen the spine. And then bend the knees, take a big step back with your left leg. So take a moment to pat up that knee if you need. Set the knee down on the ground. Lift your chest up. Place both hands on top of your right thigh. So as you actively push your right foot into the floor, you're just gonna come forwards in that front leg like you're dropping the hips down to the ground. And then pull yourself back to where you started. And then lean forwards. And then come back. So a couple more. And then next time you pull back, we'll stay there. Curl under with the pelvis. Right arm's coming to the inside of the right leg. So press the arm on the leg. Leg is pushing back. Left arm goes up towards the ceiling. So as you reach, then start to lean over to the left. And then keeping that pelvis position, just roll that left shoulder back a bit. Chest is lifting up to the ceiling. And then see if you can lean over a bit more. And then bring yourself back to center. So legs stay as they are. Interlace the hands behind the back of the head, elbows wide. Inhale to lengthen the spine. And then exhale, find that twist. Draw the right shoulder back, or right elbow back, left elbow forwards. So you're twisting to the right. And then inhale, come back to center. So we'll do that again. Exhale, twist to the right. And then inhale to center. So you'll move through a couple more at your own pace. And then next time you twist, pause there. Keep lifting the crown of the head up. Right hand comes to the low back, fingers face down. Left arm goes up towards the ceiling. Lift up first, then start to lean back. Left hand comes down to the inside of that right foot. Right arm reaches up towards the ceiling, a nice gentle twist. Set the right hand down. Now walk your right foot over to the left side, coming into that 90-90 shape. So bring that left knee forwards a bit. Right knee in line with the hip, heel in line with the knee, flex the right foot. So again, you can have that heel closer to you, the back heel, or further away, however feels okay for you. Use as much or as little weight on the hands. Here we go. So try to lift that right heel up towards the ceiling, then as you lift the heel up, lift the foot, lift the leg, and then lower it down. Now lift the back heel up towards the ceiling, then lift the whole leg, and then lower down. You might notice that there's a big difference between the sides. Lift the front leg up, maybe use less weight on the hands, and then lower, and then lift the back leg up, and then lower down. Last round, come on, come on, come on. Right leg lifts, pause, and then set it down. Now lift the back leg up, and then set it down. So keep the legs in this shape, lengthen, press that right knee in the floor, hinge from the hip, fold forward so you're hovering above the front leg, and then lift yourself back up. Two more, we got this, two more. Hinge from the hip, keep pressing that front shin down, and then pull yourself up. Last one, hinge from the hip, fold, and then stay there. Take your hands to the floor. So you still want that activation through the right leg here. And then lift yourself up. So the legs stay in this shape as you take the hands behind you. You might want to tuck under with the pelvis a little bit. Stay on the hands, maybe you come down on one form, maybe both forms, or again, maybe you come all the way down onto your backs. But when you get there, just close the eyes. over to the right to help lift yourself all the way up. But this time you're going to take your legs out in front of you and just give them a good shake. Okay. So now bend your knees, set the feet down on the ground, and come all the way down onto the back. So keeping the feet on the floor, you're going to reach your arms up and over the head. Turn the palm of the hands to face one another so thumbs are hovering. And now I want you to reach your arms forwards, lift the head, and then start to slowly roll yourself all the way up. And then as you come up, reach your arms forwards, keep your feet planted, and then C-spine, so roll down nice and slow. And as you come down on the backs, reach your arms up and over. We'll do that again. Arms come forwards, lift the head, lift the chest, slowly roll yourself all the way up. And then nice and slow, roll yourself back down. So I just want you to move through a couple more on your own. Going at a nice slow pace. So try not to use momentum. I really want you to find the core strength to bring yourself up and down. You can also do this with your legs straight. And then taking your time, you're just going to finish the round that you're on. And we'll eventually meet down on our backs. Take your arms out into a T shape. Bring your feet a little closer towards the glutes. And let the knees just rock side to side. Next time the knees fall over to the left, you'll pause there. And you can make the shape whatever you need here. So you can bring your knees closer together. Today I'm going to place my left foot on top of my right thigh as my right knee goes a little bit closer to the floor again, just to get a little bit more through the front of that right hip. And then we'll switch. So knees fall over to the right. Create the same shape that you did on the first side. And then come back to center. And then one more here. Find your way into happy baby. So as you bend your knees, take the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. Hands either come to the outsides of the feet, maybe the ankles or the calves. Your elbows will just follow the inside of the knees. You're going to rock side to side. You can play around with the shape of the legs. You can straighten the legs. It's really nothing specific. And then let go of the legs. Tuck in towards yourself. Wrap the arms around the shins. Lift your chest towards your thighs. Give yourself a big hug. And then let it go. So legs go out in front of you. Arms come down to the ground. So it is really important to find some clarity, to notice what's going on with your mind, and to learn how to be focused, even in the midst of chaos. And this right here, in the moments of stillness, is where we do that. So try not to skip this part. This is just as important as anything physical we've done. So I want you to take a moment and scan the body, starting from the top of the head, making your way down through the face, the jaw, the neck, and pinpointing all these areas in the body and noticing if you are naturally tense there. And as you bring awareness to these spots, I want you to see if you can use your breath and remind yourself to let go, so that you can allow yourself to be softer, Please stay here in this shape for as long as you can today. I want to thank you so much for joining me. And I hope you have a great game. Remember to always be humble, be kind. Namaste.